That's about the framing.
But then I'm gonna brush.
I think we leave lights on. Off. It's cool. It's recording right now too.
Okay, perfect.
How move this one?
Over.
Sometimes we'll play pranks and move around the numbers and see how long it takes Tara to realize.
What?
And so we put like only three Pac-12 chips, like 34 natties. It took her a few weeks to know.
Oh, it says 32 national championships.
Oh, it's still up there and I did it.
What was that first practice like when you like realized this is what I'm into for the next
Oh my gosh, I was gassed. It was 3 hours. I was like, I'm sorry, what? Like 3 hours every day? And I'm coming in, I'm playing against All-Americans and Pac-12 first team and this and that. And I think the year before I got here, they went to the Elite Eight or something like that. So, I mean, you come into a team full of talent. So it's intimidating, but you're just excited. It's also kind of like an ego check at the same time. Like I come in my first day of practice, I'm matched up against Dejanay and Lexi, and then Tara's like, okay, well now pick up Kiana and Anna full court. And I'm like, who do you think I am? So it's definitely an ego reality check, but it was also just really exciting to be with that level of competition on the first day.
Our training room down there would be our practice gym, but if we bang the left this way, we head into the star of the show, Maples. Some people hit this on their way out. I usually forget to.
How was your first visit here? What do you remember?
I came here when I was younger for like basketball games, and I sat up in the bleacher seats. And then when I started to be recruited, I got to sit in like the lower bowl in the parent section. And up over there is like the women's basketball corner. So we have Final Fours, national championships, and then on this side it says like conference championships. And then it has our most recent Natty poster. And then this is like the Stanford corner, and it's crazy. 158 Natty championships. We won the Director's Cup like a million years in a row because we win like a Natty every quarter basically. It's like a thing here.
It's like a thing here?
Yeah, it is. It's like a thing. Like, I don't know, men's gymnastics has like four-peated, I think. Women's soccer won my freshman year. Women's volleyball I've seen, women's water polo, men's water polo. The list just goes on. People just be winning left and right.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't look stressed. Me personally, on the inside, I was stressed. But I think it's also understanding that like, we all knew that we were stressed, you know? We're not gonna be blind to that or pretend it was anything else, but I think it was just like also understanding that you needed to put on a strong face for everybody there, especially me and Cam being freshmen and sophomores there. Like Lexi and Lacey and Anna weren't gonna look at us and be like, oh my God, like I'm freaking out, like I don't need to hear that. I know you are, I am too. So I think it was really just kind of putting on a face for one another, but it's also being like, there's really no reason to stress because this is the last 30 seconds we're gonna have to play with this group of girls in this environment in San Antonio during the COVID year, whatever it may be. So it's really just taking in the moment, and it's deciding how you want your 30 seconds to be spent. Do you wanna be all pent up and stressed out, or do you wanna be enjoying the game that you love with some of your best friends, just enjoying your time out there, you know, whatever happens, happens. But if you leave it out there on the floor and have that like mental understanding of the situation, then I think it makes it easier to settle into that. Because I'm not trying to be out there and be like, oh my God, I don't want to lose, because that sucks. You don't want to spend your time like that.
You were a sophomore and I was a freshman, so we were still underclassmen, but you definitely knew what we were doing better than most people, so it was really nice just to be able to go up to Haley and be like, what the hell are we doing? Because I had no idea. I mean, usually freshmen have their summers to, you know, get more acclimated, to figure out the offense. Like, I didn't have that. I felt very, very overwhelmed with what we were doing at times because we had so many sets and all of that stuff. So it was just really nice to go up to Haley and to be like, what are we doing? And she can just explain things so well and, you know, advice, anything, because, you know, sometimes it's hard to hear from a coach. So, but yeah, there's so much. But I think overall, you're just a really good leader.
That season was really difficult. I think, you know, our motto that year was all in. And before we went on the road for that 10 weeks of time, we had an understanding that, you know, if we're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. And there's not gonna be any type of regrets or I wish we didn't go or oh, I'm so tired. It's like, okay, we're deciding to buy into this year. So it was difficult, but I think when it comes to Cam, I knew she was gonna create an impact immediately just because of her skill level, her competitiveness, her drive, whatever it may be. And I think everybody on the team knew that. So watching her kind of come into her own throughout that season and only continue to get better was what we needed. But it was also just awesome to see you do that. I was really proud, as I am now. I feel like a proud auntie, like proud big sis. Like, look at her go, and I get so excited for everybody, especially Cam. But yeah, no, I think we needed her that season to do what she did, and to do it as a freshman was amazing.
Yeah, she's a dog. Like, I mean, she's the type of player that you want to have on your team and you don't want to play against, you know? Like, she's going to get on the ground, she's going to talk her stuff, she's going to block your shot, stare you down, dive on the floor, do everything. Like, she's that player that does all the intangible things for you on the court.
Yeah.
So you love having somebody like that. And she's a beast. Like, nobody can guard her. She's scoring on the inside, on the outside, whatever it is, so.
What is someone who wins a national championship as a freshman? What's the goal after that?
Another one, and another one. This year, next year. Just fell short last year.
I think it feels us like every other loss. I think that everybody on this team, we all hate losing more than we love winning. So like, when you lose, that sucks. And you gotta go watch the film and you're like, I don't wanna watch this, but you have to because I think we all have goals in our mind and the goals that we have are tangible.
And something Tara says, which makes me laugh, but it's super true, is like when you lose, you think you did everything wrong. Mm-hmm. And when you win, you think you did everything right. But I mean, I feel like there was a lot of stuff in that game we did really well. And then when it came down to it, we just made some mental errors. I fouled out, you know, and it's just stuff you learn from. So it's just promising, I think, and just exciting.
I feel like whenever we lose, I look back, or even during the game, I remember my halftime interview against UConn. Holly Rowe was talking about, how do you feel going in the second half? I said, I feel great. That was our worst half of basketball and we're down 1, right? It's going up. And that game did just continue to go downhill. So like, there's always more to be done. But I feel like this team, even last year's team, the year that we won, I never think that we ended up scratching that surface. So I feel like we're always reaching for more. Like we have such a high ceiling that we can just get to, and I feel like we're not even close to it yet. But for us to be where we're at is very promising.
What's in the locker?
Oh my gosh, my locker is messy.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa. Oh. Okay, so this is my locker. I'm usually a very neat person. Locker does not count. These are my shoes. My favorite shoe I've ever played in is the KD13 from my sophomore year. But this year I've been playing in, oh look, they're kind of dirty. You can tell they're my favorite shoe. Kyrie's. This is like all of our Stanford t-shirts and like workout clothes. And then this is where our practice loops come back every day. So those kind of just get tossed in and then I'll pull out the loop for the day and there we go. And then the bottom section is where it's like more organized, kind of. But these are like extra practice jerseys and then like from years past, like sweatshirts and things. And this is everything we got this year that's new. I have not opened that yet. I'm a senior, so I have like so much stuff. So I haven't even really had to wear anything.
Take some of it.
Hello, jokes. So that's that. And then this is my favorite poster ever. This is our freshman year poster. Funky Four. Everybody signed it. I think everybody from Funky Four has this in their locker. So this was like the team poster.
Who donned you guys Funky for?
It was me actually. I will take full credit for that amazing name. I came up with Funky Four. It was a prank at first. We were told that every class had a class name. Turns out that was a lie. So we came to the team like, oh, what's your class name? We're Funky Four. And they were like, y'all are stupid. So we were caught up with that one. I think that's my bag up top. And that's the speaker over my locker because I'm typically in charge of the aux in the locker room. I am.
That's pressure.
You get used to pressure.
What do you
Ain't
play
enough.
in here? What's like the go-to?
It really depends on who's in the locker room. It depends on like what the vibe is, what time it is. If it's before the game, if it's like after practice, if we just died, I'm not gonna play some upbeat stuff. I might play something we need to sing our heart out to. Like before the game, Cam and Brooke and Hannah are big Adele and Fran. Love Adele. So like I'm not really an Adele before the game type of girl, but they are. So you gotta mix it in.
Yeah.
Recently, Talana and I have been listening to like musicals like Hairspray. So the other day I was playing Good Morning Baltimore, but then before our game on Monday, I played Proud Mary by Tina Turner. That got us rolling. I played some Stevie Wonder, we played some Bay Area stuff. You know, the classics, Drake, Travis Scott, yada, yada, yada.
Dua Lipa.
Yeah, not Dua Lipa. I don't think I've ever played Dua Lipa up in here. We play a lot of Beyonce, Rihanna, a lot of throwbacks. I'm really like a throwback R&B girl, so I have this playlist. It's called Forgotten Gems, and it's got Neo, Chris Brown, Trey Songz, all like the 2000s R&B, 2010s, Usher, some of that jazz stuff.
Alright, I'm gonna try to get you the low end of it. On 3, 1, 2.
Don't sleep on you.
Oh, can I do this?
Yes. This is Steph Curry's sister right here. She wants to do the night-night.
Can I?
Oh yeah, go night-night.
Where was your first bucket here?
Oh God, that's a great question. Like in-game bucket?
In-game bucket.
It
Like,
had to have been a layup. I remember,
what was the move?
shoot, I'm a simple player. I hit you with a jab step, right, left, lift. My first game, my freshman year, I was out with a concussion when we played the Beijing team, but then we hosted the Olympic team here. And I probably just got like a layup right around here, something like that.
You scored an Olympian?
I guess.
Name drop.
I don't know who it was.
You
I don't know who
lied.
it was. I remember there's a picture of NECA guarding me, but I don't think I scored on NECA. I feel like I scored on like some type of cut or something.
Okay.
Yeah, this is my final year, so I'll have my favorite memory will probably be senior night in the spring in a few months.
Oh my god.
It's crazy to think I'm already a senior. Time is really flown by. I mean, freshman year was cut short because of COVID. Sophomore year, we played like 2 games here because we were on the road the whole year. And then last year was really our first full year here. We still had some games where fans weren't allowed. So this year's kind of been the first real year.
Yeah, I think it's hard to give yourself, like Cam said, like give yourself that grace and like give yourself a pat on the back while also understanding like there's still more to be done, right? Like this is my last year, Cam's in her last 2 years, so it's like there's so much I still want to do, but it's also like, wow, like I've done so much. Like I feel like Stanford has always been this storied program, but also, like you said, like we're now being those people to now put out a Final Four every year. If it's not a Final Four, what were you doing? It's Pac-12, like we've gone undefeated, like, you know, last year we want to go back to back, only dropped 2 the year before. So I think it's really cool to kind of be leaving this legacy of our own. I think it's hard to, you know, be like, oh my gosh, I'm so great, I'm so good, this and that. Like nobody does that, especially just us being the way that we are. We're not gonna do that. But I think it's hard to be able to enjoy the glory days and sit in it while also keeping that drive. So it's a balance to strike we're still working on, I think.